It's been another action-packed year within the Catholic Church, with papal controversies, record-breaking events, and excommunications. This has been a year to remember. Join us as we count down the top 10 Catholic news stories of 2024. If you think we left anything out, then leave it in the comments. Now, let's take a look. Number 10. The fallout from Pope Francis's controversial declaration, Fiducia Supplicans. In December of 2023, Pope Francis released a declaration that very ambiguously addressed the process of priests blessing same-sex couples. While some saw this as the green light to start blessing these relationships, others pushed back hard. African Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo made headlines when he blasted the declaration as cultural colonization and a kind of Western imperialism. The African Bishops' Conference rejected the declaration in January of 2024. Many Catholics were left confused as to how to interpret this document and what exactly was changing. Number 9. The Catholic conversion of notable celebrities. In 2024, we saw a number of public figures join the Church. Tammy Peterson, the wife of Jordan Peterson, was baptized on March 30th after miraculously beating an aggressive form of cancer. Political commentator Candace Owens was baptized in April. This follows her marriage to Catholic apologist George Farmer. Russell Brand received the sacrament of baptism on April 28th. While he has not made it explicitly clear that he converted to the Catholic faith, his wife is a Catholic, and he has encouraged his followers to pray the Rosary. Number 8. The excommunication of Archbishop Carlo Maria Viganò. In July of 2024, the Congress of the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith met to deliberate the excommunication of Archbishop Viganò for the act of schism. On several occasions in recent years, the Archbishop had declared that he did not recognize the legitimacy of Pope Francis or of the Second Vatican Council. Viganò had previously stated, "I repudiate, reject, and condemn the scandals, errors, and heresies of Jorge Mario Bergoglio." After the excommunication process had begun, Viganò wrote that he regarded the accusations against him as an honor. Number 7. The mockery of the Last Supper at the Paris Olympics. The opening performance at the 2024 Olympic Games featured Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper painting with drag queens, a transgender model, and a singer made up as the Greek god of wine. In a strongly worded open letter, Catholic cardinals and bishops from around the world called on the International Olympic Committee to repudiate and apologize for the mockery. The letter stated, "It is hard to understand how the faith of over 2 billion people can be so casually and intentionally blasphemed." The organizers apologized, but claimed that it was not their intention to mock the Last Supper. Number 6. Cultural and symbolic controversies within the Church. These have been wide-ranging and have taken many forms, such as the Vatican Christmas wreath that was bad for the environment, a manger scene depicting baby Jesus lying in a keffiyeh, or replacing Before Christ with Before Common Era. The best controversy moment of the year has to go to the 2025 Jubilee mascot, Luce. Many Catholics were unhappy about the choice of an anime character. However, the memes that resulted made it all worth it. Whether it was Luce striking down Satan or leading crusaders into battle, there was no shortage of entertainment value. Number 5. Catholics played an outsized role in the United States presidential election. In the 2016 election, Donald Trump edged out Hillary Clinton by a few points with Catholics, according to exit polls. In 2020, exit polls show that Trump and Biden tied with the Catholic vote, or Biden slightly edged out Trump. This is in stark difference from the 1960s, where John F. Kennedy received 80% of the Catholic vote. Fast forward to the 2024 presidential election, and Donald Trump won the Catholic vote by over 10 points. How the Catholic vote has changed over time is certainly something worth paying attention to. Number 4. The 10th Annual Eucharistic Congress. This amazing event was held in July at Lucas Oil Stadium and the Convention Center in Indianapolis. This was the first national congress in 83 years, bringing together an estimated 50,000 Catholics for talks, programs, and liturgies. As part of the lead-up to the Congress, there were 4 Eucharistic pilgrimages from the 4 cardinal directions of the United States that made their way to Indianapolis in time for the Congress. In the time leading up to the Congress, Pope Francis praised the efforts of the organizers and called it a significant moment in the life of the Church in the United States. Number 3. The Synod on Synodality. Some have described the Synod as the culmination of Pope Francis's papacy. Since the beginning of his papacy, Pope Francis has sought to strengthen collegial aspects of the Church's government. This puts more emphasis on open discussion and debate as a means of creating church magisterium, rather than just directly from the Pope. The Synod really generated headlines over how much of a role lay people had in the process, specifically Catholic women. The final Synod document, after review from Pope Francis, became part of the ordinary magisterium without any changes. Controversially, the final document left the door open to potential female deacons in the future. Number 2. The polarizing influence of Pope Francis. It hasn't been a year unless the Pope has rustled some feathers with his sometimes ambiguous and confusing comments. We can all remember the leaked comments from back in May, where it was reported that Francis had used a vulgar term to refer to gay men. This vulgarity was in reference to the air of homosexuality that he claimed was pervasive in Catholic seminaries. We can also remember when Francis weighed in on the American presidential election. He told voters to choose the lesser of 2 evils. It's unknown if this helped anyone decide who to vote for. Francis also made headlines in September during his trip to Indonesia when he said that all religions are a path to God. This left many Catholics confused as to how to interpret these comments. The official English translation that the Vatican released changed the Pope's remarks to say that all non-Christian religions are seen as paths trying to reach God. Number 1. The grand reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral. In 2019, a structural fire broke out in the cathedral's roof space. By the time the fire was extinguished, the wooden spire had collapsed, most of the wooden roof had been destroyed, and the cathedral's upper walls were severely damaged. After 5 years and $1 billion of restoration work, the cathedral reopened in December of 2024. The inaugural Mass was presided over by Archbishop Ulrich, who consecrated the new high altar and placed inside it the relics of 5 saints. Nearly 170 bishops from France and around the world participated in the service. Pope Francis called the Church's restoration a prophetic sign of the Church's renewal in France.